Hi, Sonny Boys. Today is Sunday, March 8th, 2020. Put some headphones on and pull up a chair, get comfortable, and watch this video. This is going to be the start of some family history on baseball. I really want you boys to understand how important Williamsport, Pennsylvania is to you and your lineage. Not just because the Little League World Series is played there. We've never had anybody in the family play in the Little League World Series yet. Rather, Williamsport, Pennsylvania is a place where your great-grandfather was born and raised. Williamsport, Pennsylvania was a place where your great-great-grandparents were buried because that's where they raised their small little family. I want to give you a quick breakdown, and this isn't going to cover everything, but this is going to be the first chapter in many that I want to share with you boys. This is a story of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. This is a story about Johnny Bench. This is a story about Jason Varitek. This is a story about your family, your blood, you, my two Sonny Boys. I love you too. I miss you too. I hope we get together very soon.
If we're talking about Mike Trout, Christian Yelich, we have to include Cody Bellinger in that same conversation because he might be the best player in the National League and the second best player in all of baseball right behind Mike Trout. And yeah, a couple years ago, he did play in the Little League World Series and this guy showed up. Well, I guess it's not this guy because at the time he was a kid, so this kid showed up. So weird to say it like that. Playing for the Chandler National Little League from Chandler, Arizona, Cody Bellinger went 4 for 5 with a 2-run home run in the first game of the Little League World Series. Now, the unfortunate part is they got smacked in the second game, but the team that smacked them ended up going to the championship game. So I really feel like there was no harm in losing that game. And if anything, Cody Bellinger even said that that's where he fell deeply in love with baseball. And look at him now, playing for the Dodgers, probably going to win the 2019 MVP. I mean, as we can see, he was not the biggest kid. So if you're small right now and you think that it's not your calling to play baseball, keep playing, stay dedicated, keep your head down, and be humble, because who knows what could happen. You could be the 2019 MVP.
Hi, my name is Cody Bellinger, and my favorite player is Manny Ramirez.
A couple of singles, 2 runs scored in the ballgame. Third time up. Bellinger takes that one to left field. That is back at the wall. Goodbye, another home run. Bellinger delivers a 2-out, 2 RBI homer.
Cody Bellinger. I wanted to include him because he plays for the Dodgers. And Bradley, I know you're a huge Dodgers fan. And he went to the Little League World Series. The guy said one thing in there I want you to remember. Humble. Humble. That's what I was talking about yesterday when I was on the phone with you. Let's get into this video and then we'll talk about that more in a minute. Let's just use this. Alright, action. Am I in? I'm probably getting cut out right back here, but you know what? I'll just stay down like this for the sake of needing to get this going. Here we go. I know I'm still out of frame a little bit here. I can just feel it. The joys of not having a tripod. I think I'm in focus. Alright, ready? Let's sync this up. Quiet on the set. Action. I want to thank everybody for watching ILYBB. And thank you for putting up with me trying to get this going here. Today is... well, let me let Amazon tell you.
Today is Saturday, March 7th.
March 7th, 2020. Amazon, what time is it?
The time is 2:05 p.m.
That's Arizona time, so it's 1 something over there in California. And Bradley, you should be done with your baseball game by now. I was so stoked that you picked up this morning before your game when I called. I really was. I was super stoked. Thank you. Makes me happy I get to talk to you like that. I want to start with what I was trying to tell you as your mama. I know you guys were trying to get to the field, so she was rushing you off the phone. But what I was trying to tell you is be a leader. The whole conversation started off with, oh yeah, we're playing the not so best team in the league right now, or your guys' division. And by the way, I have my HVLL shirt on. You see that? I'm rooting for you guys. What I was trying to say this morning is be a leader, especially if you're catching, right? When you told me that you were playing catcher, I was just so stoked. I was so stoked for many, many, many reasons, because I played catcher, or always, that was my spot. That's what I was always gunning for. I didn't play it 100% of the time through my years, but it's where I always wanted to be. It's where I found the most enjoyment in the game. So for you to tell me that you were going to be catching, and for you to say that you were going against a team that's not so good, they have a bunch of players on their team that have never played baseball, it's not a drag. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that you were making it sound like a drag. I understand you might not get the best look. You might not get the best challenge, so to speak. But it is an opportunity for you to shine as a leader. And what I mean, and what I was trying to tell you, by being the catcher, you're in a unique position because you get to see the whole field. You get to see the whole game. You see what's going on. You're directing and calling shots. You're telling that pitcher what to pitch, right? Even though it might be coming from the coach. You're in constant communication with all of your players on that field. Okay? You're the only player that gets to see that view of the whole game. Everybody else is seeing sections of the game, right? So as a catcher, you have the chance to really shine and to set the pace for that game, is what I was trying to tell you. And instead of facing this team, and instead of having this team hear you and your teammates talk about, oh, these guys aren't any good, this is their first year playing ball, we got this in the bag, boys. I know you guys don't talk like that. That's more of my generation. But listen to me. It's your chance to really not go that direction. You know what I mean? There's a difference in being confident, and there's a difference in being cocky and arrogant. Confidence and cockiness and arrogance, there's a big divider between the two, and they're completely different. And as a leader on a team, you need to know the difference. So facing a team like you did today gives you the opportunity to do this. It's just a different part of the game. It might not be batting, it might not be catching, but it's a different part of the game which allows you to shine and set yourself away from the pack. I was trying to tell you to go out there today, and when you're behind home plate and you get one of these batters that come up and it's their first year playing ball, they're going to be looking at you as, oh man, look at this guy. He's geared up. He looks good. He looks good in his gear. He's kind of intimidating. They might have even seen you hit already, and they go, man, this kid can hit. Wow, I'm a little nervous. Well, that's where it's your job to come in. And as a catcher, you're in a neat position because you get to speak to the batter. That was the thing that I loved the most about catching, is that you get to speak to the batter, right? And I can't tell you how many awesome conversations as a hitter I've had with awesome catchers in my day. And I got to tell you, looking back and thinking about which catchers I thought about all through high school and things like that, have always been the catchers that have left the impression of they're awesome people. And a lot of these cats went on to college. So my point is, this guy's walking up, he's looking at you, he's looking at the pitcher on the mound, he's nervous, he's got his mom and dad up in the stands, and he's never played baseball before, right? Well, this is your chance, Bradley, as a leader of this team that you're on, this great team, for you to step up and go, step in the box, batter, come on. My pitcher is awesome, but I have a feeling you're going to be able to get around on him. You say something positive like that. And watch what it does. Watch what it does for your pitcher on the mound. Watch what it does for that hitter. You don't want to tear that hitter down in the sense of, hey, you're not going to hit shit. There'll be a time and a place for a certain hitter for that kind of talk. The Red Sox and I have always been like this. Always. You know, your daddy was born in the New England area, so the Red Sox, and being a Red Sox fan, growing up in the South, around all these Atlanta Braves fans, God. Whew. I used to stand up for my team. I used to take a lot of shit for the Red Sox, and then just to see the type of troubles that the Red Sox are in right now as an organization, it's just, come on, guys. Why are you getting so shameless like that? Be a team leader. There'll be a time and a place to get underneath the psyche of a certain player and a certain team by trash talking. I'm not saying never trash talk. This is baseball. There's going to be trash talking. But at the level that you are in Little League, set yourself apart, Bradley. Set yourself apart. Do it. Be the leader. Be a positive influence on everybody in that league, because it's going to take you places. I can't tell you how many awesome chances I've had to play ball with people that have gone on to the Little League World Series, that have gone on to play college ball, and even professional, right? I always felt if your daddy would have had better eyes, I would have been a better ball player, and I actually probably could have done a little bit. I loved it. If I wasn't catching, I loved playing second base. Just as a catcher, there was that connection with second base, you know. You had to read all of that, and if I wasn't playing second base as much as I wanted to, because there was some real dedicated infielders, I would be in the outfield as a catcher, which you probably find, I don't know. Bradley, I don't know, I see you playing third base a lot too, just because you're not afraid to get in front of the ball. Ben, sounds like you're sitting this season out. You're in between age limits and stuff like that, which is alright. Happens. Get yourself together. Let's find yourself. What makes you happy? Maybe it's the art, you know. Maybe you're going to be some sort of electrical engineer doing stuff like that. Doesn't have to be baseball. Baseball is just fun. But if you're good at it, keep running with it as long as you're good at it. Because one day, I'm not saying you're ever going to end up like me with the multiple sclerosis, but one day, you might not be able to move as well. Or see as good. I pray that never happens to you, boys. Talking about catching and just being a great leader and just being positive always makes me think about the catcher I looked up to as a kid. And his name is Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench, man. He played for the Cincinnati Reds. Him and Pete Rose. And Johnny Bench was just, he was tough, as a catcher is, you know. Catchers are tough. Johnny Bench is known for barehanding balls. He'd see a guy starting to take off at first. He's going to steal boom, Johnny Bench would reach out there, boom, barehand that ball. And I'm going to include a little video here. But yeah, he had a howitzer down to second base.
My father got me into catching. I was about 5 years old, I guess, when I first realized what baseball really was and what my ambitions were in life. My father thought that catching was the quickest way to the big leagues, and he thought that that's what the big leagues needed. And as a result, I had a reputation as a catcher all my life because I started out as a catcher when I was 6 years old in Little League.
National League base runners would have been a lot happier if Johnny had chosen another position, because he sure mastered this one. He revolutionized one-handed catching to protect his throwing hand. Throwing was Bench's forte. He had an arm like a howitzer. See what I mean?
I always took care of my arm. In minor leagues, though, I'd love to show it off. I could stay on the home plate and throw it over the left field fence and on a line, and that was just something I was blessed with. My big hands helped probably in controlling the ball and being able to grab it and get it out of the mitt. I worked on my transfer, worked on getting quick feet, quick hands, and then I just took the style that worked best for me and sort of molded it into what soon was to be my major league style.
Bradley, I can't wait to see your throw to second, because really your throw to second as a catcher is completely unique. It's the only throw like it in baseball, right? It's not anywhere near like a pitcher, because a pitcher winds up, right? Pitcher winds up, does his thing. A catcher is all here. It's like this, right? Boom. Okay, Johnny Bench kind of revolutionized the one-hand catch to protect the throwing hand. But when I caught through high school, I always kept this hand handy. Boom! A lot of people like to bring it down, right? Because you do want to protect it, but mine was always up here, especially if I saw a guy taking off to second. So you're here, boom, right? You're up, you're pivoting around, and that throw, you can't see, that throw to second is right here from the ear. And Johnny Bench had a rocket. He'd be all boom, shh, wah. And I mean, in this little video I'm going to include, he talks about being able to throw it out to the outfield, standing still. So Bradley, I can't wait to get with you so you can practice that. Make sure you practice your throw to second, because if you're going to be an awesome catcher, you need to be able to pick off everybody trying to steal second on you. Boom, same spot. Just get out there and practice. Boom, here. Boom, here. Here. Right over the bag. If I'm second base or I'm shortstop, this is first or second base, I'm running to it. That throw should be right here every time so I can catch it and drop it. Catch it and drop it. Your throw is right there. It's just boom, 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 boom. Watch the pros. Start pulling up YouTube videos of Johnny Bench. There's not too many because he played it in the older days, back in the 70s and stuff. But Johnny Bench, that's who you remind me of. I know you're a leader. I hope you had an awesome game today. I really, truly do. I wish I was there so I could have witnessed the whole damn thing and I could have caught it on camera for our moments in motion here. But I love you guys and I miss you. Ben, what were you doing all day? Ben, call me up and talk to me. You know, spring break's coming up, guys. I would love to have you guys out for spring break. We could make it happen if we started planning. All it takes is a little planning and we could make it happen. Seriously. Let's see. So I spoke about Johnny Bench. Wanted to talk about that. Oh, yeah. $1991. It's a little loose, a little beat up. 1991. This trophy's from 1991. Senior League Baseball Lee County champions. Lee County, Florida, down in Fort Myers. Lived in the shores back then. 1991. This was a weird, 1991 was a weird point in time for me in my life. I moved out to California shortly after this. I was on a serious baseball team that year. I was a good player. I was decent. I held my own. I hadn't lived in Fort Myers, but for maybe 3 years at that point. My son Bradley, I had a dude on my team that year. I had a friend that I went to I had just started high school. Actually, we were getting ready to go into high school. But I had a friend through the 8th grade, and this was after, I'm pretty sure, around my 8th grade year, because my friend Bradley, his name was Bradley, Brad Haley, actually. Sorry for throwing your whole name out there, Brad, but this is a good story, and I want my sons to know about it. I hadn't been down in Fort Myers, Florida for very long. I had moved down there from North Carolina, you know, and in my 8th grade year, I met this group of cats that were pretty cool to me, and I want to tell this story to my sons because it ties into being a leader, Bradley. And one of the cats that kind of took me into their group his name was Bradley. And he was a cool cat. I kind of looked up to him, you know, because he was friendly to me. He was cool to me. He would listen to me if I spoke. He treated me cool, where there were other people in the group that would kind of, yeah. You know, I was poor. My mama was poor. Didn't come from a lot of money ever. She was always working. Mom was always working. And this guy, Brad Haley, was a good friend of mine. And he made sure that I was included in things, you know. So fast forward, you know, I ended up hanging out with the wrong crew and ended up doing some things I shouldn't have done. And then I find myself, Mom thought it would be better for me to go live in California with your grandpa and my dad. And it was the best move for me. I needed to get away from that whole group of people. Not that Brad Haley was bad, but some of the people I've met through that and some of the bad choices I made, just being young and dumb and not having my dad around, I made some choices that got me into some trouble. Needless to say, our team ended up making it to the championships, right? And then shortly later, I find myself moving to California. So my point is this. Brad Haley, I'll show a picture, and I hope you don't mind, Brad Haley. Here is a photo of Brad I got from his Facebook. Brad Haley, thanks for letting me use this photo. Great luck to you and your family always. This is either a college photo or him playing in an adult baseball league. Apparently I moved away and he caught through high school and maybe some college. I'll put a picture in here somewhere. But he caught. And he caught back in the day. He was our catcher. He always displayed fair judgment. He was an awesome character. He was a leader. And that's what I want for you, Bradley, my son. My friendship with him back in the day, although short, is one of the many reasons why I was excited to name you Bradley. Just because he was a solid character in my goings through life. In that short time I was friends with him, he was a true friend to me. So thanks, Brad Haley, for being a true friend back then. Bradley, you're named Bradley for all kinds of reasons, but that's one of the reasons why I went that direction. He was an awesome catcher, and I see you turning into an awesome catcher. Okay, what else? Johnny Bench, baseball, hope you won today. I miss you guys, and I love you guys always. That's always the case. I got to talk to you this morning. Hopefully I'll be able to talk to you this evening, find out how you did on that game. I'm working on the week in review videos. I just put the 4th one up. I think it ended up on the 16th. So I got to go from the 17th on, and then from there, I'm like 2 or 3 weeks behind. I'm trying to get that done. It's just, it's not that it's boring making those week in review videos. It's sad sometimes because I miss you guys and I want to be with you. The whole reason why I'm making these videos is that one day I might not be around, and I want you guys to know that, hey, Dad just wasn't off somewhere not fucking thinking about us. Dad was always thinking about us. And it's the truth. I'm always thinking about you. Always thinking about you. My life doesn't feel complete. That's why I do stuff like this, you know? I don't feel whole because you're not there. So I'm trying, I don't know. I know this isn't going to rectify the situation. It's not going to make it better talking to these cameras like this. But it makes me feel better knowing if God should decide to come and take me today and I can get this up, you guys will at least have my side of the story. And my side of the story is I fucking miss you and I love you. And I'm not stupid. I'm not a stupid person. I have multiple sclerosis. I can do things like this. I can get this going. I can do research, right? I'm not dumb, but for some reason I can't find any way to make money doing this. I know it's out there. I know that this will be of value to somebody. I have certain skills that I can help tell a story, and I have stories that I want to tell, but I know so do other people. So if anybody should see this and you feel that I can help you out, please contact me. To my sons, I love you. I'm going to start shutting this stuff down just because I told you about Johnny Bench. I want you to be a team player. At the same time, I want you to be the positive leader in that team. Right? If you start doing that now as a young person, just staying positive. And staying positive doesn't mean only keeping yourself going, right? Oh no, that's a sin. Can't let the Red Sox hit the ground. Doesn't mean just being positive and encouraging yourself. It means encouraging your team. It means when you're playing at a level like Little League, okay, and you're playing against a team that doesn't have the most experienced players, it means rooting them on and helping them become better players, because guess what? If you help them become better players, it's going to help you become a better player because you're going to be playing against better players. At this level in Little League, you'll shine if you're that player doing that. If you're encouraging everybody on that field. And by the time you get to high school, when things start to count a little bit, and you're playing in big leagues outside of high school and you're working your way to college and stuff, then that's where you save that for your team and your team only. And then you turn it on, you go animal style against the team that you might be playing against, right? Because it's good. You play hard or go home. That was the Cypress baseball saying. Ben, I'll show a picture of your Cardinals shirt here. I was looking at that today, and you got some good sayings on the back of that, but Cypress baseball, when I was going to Cypress High School, it was go hard or go home. And that's the way we played, man. But we were a team. Everybody had everybody's back, right? So, if you play in Little League, and that's the way you start to do it by the time you get to those levels in high school, you're going to be a natural leader, and every coach is going to yearn for you to be on their team. I love you, boys. Ben, hit me up. I know you're not playing ball right now, so hit me up so we can talk. I want to find out what's going on with you, man. And I love you, boys. What else? I want to make sure I'm not forgetting everything. I went through this to get this set up. What else can I talk about real quick? We're coming up to spring break. I want to see you guys. I'm trying. My truck's still down. The starter's still out. I need to get that done. Your grandpa, I know he loves you guys. He's got somebody whispering in his ear like this. And this person doesn't know anything about anything. This person just showed up kind of out of the blue. And this person's an opportunistic person just seeking somebody like your grandpa who It's just sick. It's sick. It's something that you only see on TV, but it's happening to him. And I'll show you guys one day, and you'll know about it. But this is just, it's nonsense. I love you, boys. I'm going to turn this off. Of course, once I turn everything off, I'm going to think of something to say again. But I love you. Call me up. Love you, boys. Let's go out like this. Stay tuned for the next video. This video is of Jason Varitek. And I want you to see the brawl that happens at the beginning of this video against the Yankees. I'll find a picture one day to show you, but Jason Varitek knocked the shit out of A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, he's somebody a Red Sox fan loves to hate. But check this video out. It's of Jason Varitek and the Red Sox. They show the 04 and 07 seasons. 04 is when they broke Babe Ruth's curse. And 07, Ben, they won the series the year you were born. And they've won since then. But anyhow, I love you, boys. Check this video out. It's one of my favorites.
The Red Sox yawning.
Alex Rodriguez is drilled, and he says something to Bronson Arroyo. And we know what he said. Here we go. Varitek and A-Rod going at it.
It must have been something about Evans' coffee. That's a well-hit ball to center, way back, and gone! There's the big hit for Varitek. That's the best response of all, a home run.
This is Oakland's first genuine scoring change. And very softly, Lowe throws home, and that one is going to allow the other runners to move up. As Burns shoved Jason Varitek, and Varitek goes over and tagged him out. Burns never tagged the plate. Varitek chased that ball down after Burns shoved him and then ran back after him. Burns was limping after the collision at the plate, and he was tagged out. He does not score.
Line shot center field, and the run is in. A base hit for Varitek. That brings in Millar, and the Red Sox have the lead in Game 6.
The runner at first is swing and a miss, and the throw is a good one, and out.
Down the line, towards the pole, at the corner, for the second time in less than 24 hours. The Red Sox have a walk-off win. Varitek does it today. Unbelievable. Varitek into center field, a base hit. Ramirez being waved around. The throw from Wells to the plate is not in time. Second straight night, the Red Sox walked off with a win.
Runner goes to pitch out, they guess right, and they're able to get him at second base. Varitek guns down, gets. Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again.
Did you boys recognize Anaheim Angel Stadium in there at all? I love you boys so much. That's my team, the Red Sox, right there. Jason Varitek was an awesome catcher. I'm so happy I got to see them in my lifetime break the curse of Babe Ruth. And then to have them win the series in 07, the year you were born, Ben, was so awesome to me. I love you, Sonny Boys. Remember, both of you, always be a leader. Always keep your head up. Know there's a God above you. And just do the right thing. I love you, Sonny Boys.